In this last part of this chapter, we are going to talk about production possibilities model. This is like a budget line model, but now we are talking about a society. Since society doesn't have income restriction, it has the resource restriction. Given that we have limited resources, we will see how much of each different types of goods we can be able to produce. Like the budget line, we will draw a production possibility line. Before starting the model, let's make a definition for production possibility model and what assumptions we are going to use to build up this model. So, first of all, production possibility model. It is the economic model that shows different combinations of two goods that an economy can produce, okay, given that it has limited resources. And to keep things simple, let's initially assume that the economy is at full employment. What does that mean? The economy is employing all of its available resources. So to make it simplified, if you have 10 labor, you use all your 10 labor to make production. There is no idle labor that's not producing. Second, we have the fixed resources. The quantity and quality of the factors of production are fixed. So to make it simple, again, think about that. We have 10 labor and there is no population growth. The population is not growing and 10 labor stays the fixed. And the same for technology too. The third assumption is fixed technology. The state of technology, the methods used to produce output is constant. Let's say if this labor uses some kind of technology like some tools to produce goods and services, then that tools are not changing, are not improving. There is no technological advancement. And we will assume that we have two goods. The economy is producing only two goods, pizzas and industrial robots. Pizzas symbolize consumer goods, products that satisfy your wants directly. Industrial robots, for example, the kind used to weld car frames, symbolize capital goods. Okay, and that products, the capital goods are the products that satisfy our wants indirectly by making possible more efficient production of consumer goods. Let's go see the production possibility frontier. You see pizzas and industrial robots. A production possibility table lists the different combinations of two products that can be produced with a specific set of resources, assuming full employment. The critical point is full employment. You utilize all your resources. And this table presents a simple hypothetical economy that is producing pizzas and industrial robots. The data are, of course, used are hypothetical. This is not real. We are just making assumptions and create something. At alternative A, okay, you see the point A, this economy would be devoting all its resources, available resources, to the production of industrial robots. And alternative E, as you see to the last point, you go to the last point, here E, this economy devotes all the resources to produce pizza. There are other alternatives. This is not usually, these 2 points are not realistic because an economy usually chooses to produce two of the goods. So B, C, D are more realistic, different combinations of two goods. And as we move from alternative A to E, we increase the production of pizza. You see, the production of pizza is increasing. But on the other hand, the production of industrial robots is decreasing. As you see, there is a trade-off. So we can talk about an opportunity cost here. Okay. So in producing more of pizza, society needs to sacrifice from the capital good, which is industrial robots. And by moving toward A, society chooses to forego current consumption, thereby freeing up resources that can be used to increase the production of capital goods. By building up its stock of capital this way, society will have greater future production and therefore greater future consumption. So while you are moving this way to the point A, you are actually sacrificing from consumer goods pizza that you enjoy to eat today, and you build up on your capital goods. That capital goods are going to be used for future production, so you will enjoy more consumer goods in the future because these capital goods are going to be used to produce consumer goods in the future. If you make a generalization, at any point in time, a fully employed economy must sacrifice some of one good to obtain more of another good. Scarce resources prohibit a fully employed economy from having more of both goods. Okay, that's because of limited resources. we cannot have more of both goods if we fully employ our resources. Okay, let's go and see from production possibility frontier table to production possibility graph. In order to draw a graph, as you know, we need points. And here, for a graph, we have two axes, and on the vertical axis we have the number of industrial robots, and on the horizontal axis we have the number of pizzas. And as you see, production possibility graph shows different combinations of goods that this economy can produce, given that it has fully employed the resources. Okay. Each point on the production possibility curve represents some maximum output of the two products. The curve is a constraint because it shows the limit of attainable outputs. Points on the curve are attainable. Any point on the curve are attainable, A, B, but you need to fully employ all your resources. Attainable, as the points on the curve are attainable as long as the economy uses all its available resources. Points lying inside the curve are also attainable. Anything like here are also attainable, but you are not fully employing your resources. So any point inside the curve, you have idle resources that you are not using, which is not optimal because we want to use all resources to get the maximum output we can produce. Okay. So if you are a point inside the curve, you can be able to increase both goods. You see, both goods are increasing in that direction with using more resources. But it's not possible on the production possibility line. If you are on the line, you have to sacrifice to get more of another good. You have to sacrifice from one good to get more of another good. So, like, for instance, like point W, it's unattainable because you don't have enough resources to produce 8.5 industrial robots and at the same time almost close to 6 pizzas. You don't have enough resources. And let's talk about opportunity cost here too. Let me erase first to talk it. Okay, how we can see the opportunity cost here. As you see, if you move from point A to point B, you see, from moving from point A to point B, you need to decrease the amount of the industrial robot by 1 unit, one less robot, in order to get, let's go back down, one more pizza. So as you see, the opportunity cost of one robot is exactly one pizza. Okay? So there is an opportunity cost on the production possibility line. And we are going to talk about law of increasing production opportunity cost on the production possibility frontier. And we start with moving from point A to point B. So one robot is exactly equal to one pizza. So if you want to get one more robot, you need to sacrifice one pizza. How about point B to C? At point B, you get 9 robots. At point C, you get 7 robots. And at point B, you get 1 pizza. At point C, you get 2 pizzas. Let me see how much. The right version. Yes, true. At point C, you get 2 pizza. So you sacrifice from point B to C. Let me see, B to C. 2 robots. And in return, you get 1 pizza. So as you see, there is an increase in opportunity cost. Now to get 1 more pizza, you need to sacrifice 2 robots. Before, to get 1 more pizza, you need to sacrifice 1 robot. Now the producing pizza becomes more costly. If you move from point C to D, you will see an increasing opportunity cost, because at D you have 4 robots and at D you have 1 more pizza. That means to increase 1 more pizza, you sacrifice 4 robots. From point C to D, 4 robots you need to sacrifice to produce 1 more pizza. So there is an increasing opportunity cost. Now production of pizza becomes costlier if you move resources from robot industry to the pizza industry. This is because, actually we will explain the rationale behind it, but first let's talk about shape of the curve. The law of increasing opportunity cost is reflected in the shape of the production possibility curve. As you see, the curve is not a linear line, a straight line. It's a curve that shapes outward, like bowed out. Okay, it's not a single linear line. And that is the reason it's like that, the shape is like that in order to incorporate this law of increasing opportunity cost. So what is the economic rationale? Because it's all math, but we need to understand the idea behind it. The law of increasing opportunity cost is driven by the fact that economic resources are not completely adaptable to alternative uses. Many resources are better at producing one type of good than at producing others. Consider land, okay? Some land is highly suited to growing the ingredients necessary for pizza production. But as pizza production expands, now you need more land, right? Society has to start using land that is less bountiful for farming. Let's say other lands that you don't use for pizza at the beginning are rich in mineral deposits and therefore well suited to producing the materials needed to make industrial robots. The land will be first that land will be first land devoted to the production of industrial robots. That the land who has mineral resources will be devoted first industrial production, and the land that is suitable for pizza will be devoted to pizza production. But since you expand the pizza production, now you need to use the land that is actually devoted for robots production. Okay, so that becomes that land that is suitable for robot production now less suited to making for pizza production. So that's the reason we have increasing opportunity cost, because when you move from point A to B, B to C, C to D, D to E, you are actually using more and more resources for pizza production. That means you need to take out, since you have a limited resources, you need to take out the resources from robot production and devote it to pizza production, and pizza becomes more costlier because the resources are not very well suited for pizza production. Okay, that's the idea behind it. What else we are going to talk? We are going to talk about optimal allocation. Of all the attainable combinations of pizzas and industrial robots, we need to think about which one is the optimal, okay? Which option we should choose on the production possibility line. 4 pizza, 5 robots, or which combination is the optimal? So that is actually a very important question, because that will lead us maximize our satisfaction. Okay, how we are going to decide? Recall that economic decisions center on comparisons of marginal benefit and marginal cost. Any economic activity should be expanded as long as marginal benefit exceeds marginal cost, and should be reduced if marginal cost exceeds the marginal benefit. So the optimal allocation is where marginal benefit is exactly equals to marginal cost. Okay, if marginal benefit is greater than marginal cost, you continue to expand production. If marginal cost is greater than marginal benefit, then you stop the production and decrease the production until these two terms are equal to each other. Or maybe it's now complicated because it's a very technical term, but think of from your perspective. You go to a college. Going to a college is a decision-making process. So again, you look at the marginal benefit and marginal cost of this decision. What is the marginal benefit? You are going to earn higher wages in the future. Yes, true. And this higher wages is a lifelong higher wages, so it's going to be a future cash flow of all these wages that you are going to earn in the future, right? And on the other hand, what is the cost? Okay, the tuition, we said that the tuition you need to pay, and the time that 4 years, for instance, you go to college 4 years, you don't earn income, right? No wages, and you will earn wage that is relatively lower than what you earn when you graduate. Now let's make a calculation of marginal benefit and marginal cost. The benefit is the extra wage you earn, cost is the tuition and the foregone wages. You see, if the benefit outweighs the cost, then you decided to go to college. If the cost outweighs the benefit, then you don't go to college and continue to work. Okay, this is how you make a decision, and it's true for all economic decision making. You are going to calculate the benefit and the cost of doing this decision, making this decision, extra decision. Here on this figure, you can see very simplified mathematical representation of production of pizza. Let's say you are at point A. Look at point A, you produce only one pizza. If you produce only one pizza, let's say these numbers are dollars, 15 is the dollar, $15 benefit. Producing $1 one pizza bring a society, go to the marginal benefit curve, it gives you $15 of benefit, and the cost of and marginal cost of one pizza is going to the marginal cost curve. You see, $5. So it costs you $5, and you benefit from this one pizza $15. So you will continue to produce more pizzas because the benefit is higher than the cost. Okay, you continue to produce more pizza. Let's look at, you decided to produce 3 pizzas. At 3 pizza, the marginal benefit, go to the marginal benefit curve from that 3 pizza, is $5. And the marginal cost, go to the marginal cost at 3 pizza, $15. So you see, when you compare this 15 to 5, marginal cost is higher than marginal benefit. So you are not going to choose 3. You are not going to choose 1 because the marginal benefit is higher than marginal cost. You can still continue to produce. Let's look at 2. As you see, at 2, both curves intersect at one point. Both marginal cost and marginal benefit is $10. So you'll choose to produce 2 pizza for maximizing the satisfaction for this society. Now we are going to look at here, we are going to talk about unemployment, economic growth on one single production possibility model. Although it's very simplified, it can explain many economic terms like opportunity cost, trade-off, economic growth, unemployment. And here, first we will start with unemployment. Any point inside the production possibility curve, like here, represents an unemployed resources. So it represents a case when there is an unemployment because you are not using all your resources. Let's say you have 10 laborers to produce these 2 goods. You are only utilizing 8 of them. 2 of them goes home and rest, but not working. So as you see, it is not optimal, and 2 idle worker creates unemployment in this economy. How about the economic growth? Let's talk about economic growth too. In a growing economy, there may be increase in resource supplies. We assume in the beginning that resources are fixed at any specific moment, but let's say they change over time. For example, a nation's growing population brings about increases in supplies of labor and entrepreneurial ability. So instead of now 10 laborers, you have 12 laborers because through the time, population grows. Also, labor quality usually improves over time via more education and training. Historically, the economy's stock of capital has increased at a significant, though unsteady rate. And although some of our energy and mineral resources are being depleted, new resources are also being discovered, right? The development of this irrigation system, for example, adds to the supply of arable land. This is one case, so your population may grow, and at the same time with increasing education and other resources, you may have an economic growth. And the second reason may be advances in technology, and advancing technology brings both new and better goods and improved ways of producing them. For now, let's think of technological advances as being only improvements in the methods of production. So now each labor can produce more because they have better technology available. So these advances will create also, although given resources, none of the resources change, since there is a technological improvement, you can be able to attain the points that are not attainable in the previous figure. Now you can attain by the technological advances. Okay. So here, as you see, with production possibility frontier, we explain economic growth, we explain unemployment. So that's all about for this chapter. I hope the most important concepts, I hope you understand the most important concepts like opportunity cost, production possibility frontier, economic growth, unemployment, and I hope you get an idea about the way how we think. Okay.